P, what's up? Today we got police brutality. We will be talking about police and how we are getting treated differently. So I got my beautiful wife in the building. We got Afia on the right of me, Zane on the left, Kamaya to the right, and Cynthia to the left. And we miss Miss Kaisha, and we definitely miss Shavati. But we got our beautiful folks in the building! Woo! And we also got Mr. Bruce back there. Y'all know he the quiet, he don't say nothing. But I'm gonna give it to Kamaya, and she gonna be headlining too.
Thank you for the introduction. As you all know, I am Kamaya. Today's topic, we will be discussing police brutality. Just a reminder, we are not experts. None of us, well, I personally haven't
I'm
been.
definitely not an expert. I ain't gonna hold you.
None of us are experts on this topic, so please don't come after us. We are just children, after all.
I'm only 16, not gonna lie.
Yeah, I'll hand it back to me.
Kamaya trying to be funny
Okay,
right now.
Amir, I have a question for you since this is your topic.
Are we going to the questions already?
Yes, we are.
Let her feel. I think she wrote hers down. Let her get her what's her names out there first.
Do you want to do yours, Sophia?
You can go first if you want to.
No, I haven't been in police brutality. You don't need to go with that because that news you about to.
Can police self-defense be mistaken for brutality?
Can police? Wait,
Self-defense.
say that again?
Can police self-defense be mistaken for brutality? So like a police
Good
officer
question.
defending themselves.
Good question. Ooh, that was a lot. That made me cry just now, but I'm gonna say 50-50. I'm gonna keep it 50-50. Like I said before, they think just because they got a gun on their hip, they thinking they run the world. But no. Why I say no is because they have to self-defend us as a black folks. But I want to hear what Mr. Brick said about it. I know he got some things to say. I want to hear his side first, and I'm going to.
It depends on the way you approach that police officer.
Come toward the mic.
Okay, you asked my question.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. He hit me.
You approach that police officer. When he comes, he's in fear of his life, just the way you're in fear of your life. It's the way you act, and your action can determine how he's going to treat you. Can be afraid for his life.
Not gonna lie, I like that, Mr. Brooks, because like we said on the van before, they got kids to go home to. They got a family to go home to. They don't want to be in that predicament where they cannot self-defense and cannot go home to their family.
Do you think police brutality only applies to black people?
It's a mix right now. It's a mix right now because it's not mandatory. Black folks is in the mix between black folks, whites, all over the world. Yeah, it's a mix right now, and the thing that happened with George Floyd, it was. I'm not gonna say it was the police fault, but it was. Well, it was because he pulled out a fake $20 bill, and that's not something that imitates.
I really think it was something going on between that police officer and George Floyd.
True.
They used to work together. I'm telling you to help you out.
Yeah, they was like I said earlier. They probably was helping each other or working with each other. There was something going on between them two.
I have a question. What ideas do you think goes through an officer's mind when they have to have a possible criminals?
One time.
What ideas? What do you think? What do you think the idea has? What do you think are the ideas of a police officer who has to scan for criminals?
I think they're probably thinking about how to save themselves and think about themselves first about trying to, because they don't know what's gonna happen to them, but they try to find a criminal.
because they got, like I said before, they have a family to go home to. They got babies to feed. They gotta, take care of the household, and they don't want to be in a predicament where they cannot get home to their family.
So I have a question. Do you think there's ever a need for a taser to be used on a child? Like the tasers that police officers carry?
No. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like it's a lawsuit that the parent can sue them because you're talking about babies or like children in general.
Children in general.
Depends on what they did. Depends on if they running from them or like they have a warrant out or something like that. It depends.
Like kids are like resisting that you should use on them.
Any question? Got a question?
I got another question. What should you do to defend yourself from police brutality if you ever pull over in a traffic stop?
Keep your hands on the wheel at all times. Whatever you do not reach for anything. If you reach for anything, tell them what you're reaching for, because you never know what they can do. So I always tell people, keep your hands on the wheel at all times.
What if the police get found before the person tries to do anything, like even try to put their hands up or a lot?
With the hands thing, don't never put your hands on the car at all times. The same thing as the wheel. Put your hands on the car at all times, just in case they see you reaching for something and they thinking that you pulling out a gun, and because they don't want to get hurt. At the end of the day, they want to go home to a family, like I said before. So whatever you do not have them think that you're reaching for a weapon or any other case may be, because they don't want to be in that predicament where they don't want to go home and see their family. Police have the same emotions as we do, as us regular people do. Golly, how many questions y'all got?
Do you think job stress contributes to police brutality?
Drive who?
Job stress.
What you mean?
Like, do you think being a police officer, which is a stressful job, can contribute to the abuse they have on people?
Because it's like they work way too many hours. Like they work from 9 to 12 o'clock 12 p.m. Like they don't get off work. They always busy and moving, which that's not something that I would do, because I don't want to work that many hours and not see my family.
So if you put it in a scenario like a teacher, like you're saying, teacher, because they work too many hours, they should be mean to the students. Like if you put it in that situation.
Good question. Sometimes, that's a 50-50 right there. Cause one more time, I didn't really quite get that. My bad.
I said if you put it in a student-teacher scenario where like a teacher is being mean to a student just because they like work too many hours, do you think that's okay?
Of course not.
Why?
I didn't hear a question, so I can't help.
You can put it in a teacher-student scenario. If the teacher is working too many hours, should they be allowed to take it out of the student?
No, because that's the reason why sometimes people be stressed, because they don't overwork themselves.
Exactly. They overwork themselves to the point where they angry at the whole world.
So you're saying that makes it okay?
No. It's like putting trauma to a baby and saying you do this too much.
So the next question is, how can you prevent working is better pay?
Preventing, you can either talk to your manager about taking your hours down or quit. I guess, like, just quit. Like, if you don't want to work that much, just quit. But like I always tell people, when I grew up, I think that's what I'm gonna get into police, because everyone needs to be safe in this world. Everyone needs to be a civil right member. Everyone in this world, I don't care if you're young, old, or what, you have to be safe, because this world, they don't care about you no more. they can run up on you and kill you for no reason and go home the next day like nothing happened. Like it it's a lot in this world between police and us black men. And it's not only black men, it's you got white people as well. You got white people killing us black folks. You got black on black. You got white on white. It's so much to police brutality that you can't just sit and have a good day. It's always you get pulled over by a white cop. He shoot you for no reason. Now it's a bunch of emotional things that comes between police and us black men. Not saying that I'm not trying to be racist or anything, but it's it's quite hard for us black men to walk the street and get stopped by a white cop. It's hard for us to go outside and stand on the porch and see a white cop come down the street and they kill us for no reason. And it's hard to wake up and turn the news on to see a white cop killing a black man for no absolute reason. It's a bunch, and I don't want to make this emotional, but we gotta learn how to get that box open. We have to learn to get them shackles from off our wrists. We have to learn, even as adults, we have to learn boundaries. We have to set boundaries. Not saying I'm an adult, but I know once I get into the adult stage, I will have to learn boundaries, and I will have to stick with them boundaries for the rest of my life. And like I tell people, like I want to be a therapist. I want to do so many things, and everybody tell me I can't do, but I know in my head that I can. And I always tell myself I can't, but in the real world I can. And we have to learn to keep that cage open at all times. We are fighting battles here with the police. We are fighting a lot of things between the police, and to be honest, I don't think every cop is a bad cop. You got good cops out there, and then you got the bad ones. Not saying that all cops are good and all cops are bad, but you got so many cops out here that just because they got a badge on they chest and a gun on their hip and a walkie-talkie, they feel like they running us black men. But in real world, what are y'all doing? Are y'all helping us, or y'all just killing us for no reason? Like, what really are y'all doing? Like, what's really going on? And I would like to speak on this, and I've been waiting to speak on this for a long time, and I never could get it out of my system. But I feel like as a young black man, we should know our route on where we going. As a young black male, we should know how to take a detour from the white male. We, as a black young adults, we have a voice, and it needs to be heard. Just like the police, they have a voice, but they just don't know how to put it out there and make it right. I want to be able to speak to the young youth in East Orange and tell them, whatever you do, if you ever get stopped by the police, don't run. There's no need to run. Just see what they got to say, because you never know what that black cop or that white cop want to do. It's so much, and it's traumatizing to see things like that happening in the world. Just like the Michael Jackson thing, the Michael Jackson dude, when the dude was acting like Michael Jackson and that white male beat him up and killed him for no reason. That's the same thing about police, and that's the same thing we gotta look for. It's stuff like that. We gotta be able to sit here and keep the shackles off. Like in the Bible, it says, "We shall be hurt," and we really should be hurt. Jesus died on the cross for us. Jesus risked his life for us, and I feel like we all should just work together as a team that God brought us. We should, even if you Mexican, Puerto Rican, black, or white, you should work together with the black male, because it's so much racism in this world, and it's like, what are we really doing? Are we making it worse or are we making it better? We should really work together as a family.
Where do you think the whole police brutality thing, like, where do you think it originated from?
Originated from? What you mean, like years or?
Where did it start? Like, how did it start?
Good question. I can't really give you that one. I'm not an expert at that, but I know somebody else can tell you.
So I personally feel like it started around when slavery existed and like black people became free. I feel like white people were so used to having like black people do whatever they wanted and having power over them. When police officers, they weren't able to get over not being able to have power over them when they became free. So I feel like police officers were still using their rights and their obligations, quote unquote, to abuse their power against black people. And as time went on, it progressively got worse.
And guess what? Look who freed slavery. Look who really freed slavery. And I want to ask a question. Why do you think he freed slavery? No, I'm asking in general. Like, why do, if anybody can answer that, why do you think he freed slavery?
Because it's someone that has sense and feel like slavery is
Who,
bad.
Lincoln? He did it for votes.
Exactly.
He did it for votes.
Not really. Because white people are mostly the ones that were able to vote at the time. So if you do that, why would white people vote for him?
Police brutality started like you said. It started for power. Even they sent us own black slaves after us. So that gave him a chance to show his authority. So that's what police brutality is. But you talking about white police officers, you went to school with them. And
We really did.
You used to beat him up. So now he a police officer. He see you in the street.
Mm-hmm.
First
So
thing
now-
he gonna do is take advantage of you.
Exactly. And you got to be aware of that. As a black male, you got to really sit up here and be aware of that. Because it's like Mr. Brooks said, like, you went to school with this white cop. And now he think that he's an upcoming police officer. He think he's going to beat on you now. But really, are you really going to beat on him?
I was just gonna ask, how do you think it affects a cop when they kill someone in pursuit?
Say that one more time.
How do you think it affects a police officer when they end up killing somebody in a pursuit?
Oh, it don't. It don't. I'm gonna tell you that now. It don't. It don't affect them because what they do, go right home and go to bed and act like nothing happened.
I feel like I respectfully disagree with that.
That's just me on my opinion.
Because if you were anybody who is mentally sane at least, if you were to kill somebody, you would feel some type of guilt. From nightmares to PTSD. It's like when Mr. Brooks told us about his friend who killed in self-defense. He still has nightmares to this day about it.
That's right. Call me today.
Not gonna
You
lie.
have to be an absolute sociopath to not feel guilt for killing somebody. You could kill an animal and you'll still feel some sort of guilt for it.
Not gonna lie. It's like trauma, basically. Why you making that face?
No, I never. So I have a question. So we're talking about police brutality. We have all these questions about it. But how would you personally define it?
Like I said, we just gotta work together. We just gotta know the routes between it. We gotta work for it and keep pushing ourselves.
I said, how would you define it?
That's how I define it. That's my opinion. What you want me to say? I define it as it's a cool thing to be around? No.
This
Opinions. Yeah, what Cynthia said. How would
how
you?
would you describe police brutality?
I just said we just gotta
Okay,
keep.
Cynthia, what do you think?
That's just my opinion. I don't know about nobody else's opinion.
She's trying to see.
I would define police brutality as
Racist.
no,
Racism.
because it could happen to anyone. It could
Excuse
happen to
my
white,
language.
or anybody. But anyway,
I
I would define it as cruelty towards like humans in general, not a certain race, because it can happen to anybody. Okay.
You get on that vein.
I think that it is possible that other situations could lead up to the possibility of the him going after
Sorry to
somebody
cut
else.
you off, but why y'all on y'all phone?
I was
Take attention to the people around you. Those are outsiders.
don't.
No offense. Those are outsiders. Pay attention. It's up
You
here.
gotta make this podcast funny, please.
Okay, that was fun, but okay.
Go ahead.
I laughed a little bit.
I was saying basically that it is possible that somebody he could have possibly have had suffered something like you said originally, hey, and then it led to him to the possibility of leading up to him coming after another person, and on that concept, it is possible that somebody that he would had tried their best to make sure that they never had to deal with that ever again, and in that period, sometimes it means coming after somebody else who once hurt them because they all in their mind, in their probably just gonna be thinking that this is the person that's going to come up to me again and try and to make sure that they stay dominant over me. And now I have something on me to make sure that he never does that again, and or she never does that again. And this is how come there's that the she leads to people who basically he's suffering from big things such as PTSD, or stroke, or her just basic anger issues from certain trauma and experiences they've had back in their time.
Wait a minute, I ain't hear from Shamani this whole time. We gotta hear from her.
I have a question.
Come on, Mr. Booth, bring it.
How would you
Ain't supposed to.
yourself, if you became a police officer, avoid from somebody thinking you doing police brutality?
Wow.
Can I what?
It's funny.
How if Amir became a police officer, how would you defend yourself from anybody thinking that you was being police brutality? Go about doing your job without being involved in police brutality.
I try to tell my partner like that's not something you should do. Like I try to talk him out of it. Type of thing.
So you saying if you seen your partner doing something that was not appropriate
Yeah,
for somebody.
I try to talk him out of it.
But what about yourself?
What you mean? Like,
How would you go about doing your job?
I just try to make the world a better place.
Anyway, I would like, you know, like a little comment within. I will always have that to defend myself just in case anything happens. So, like, if I end up like killing someone, I have to that I didn't mean to do it because they're attacking me. I have to save myself from the situation.
Good. But that question that she asked you earlier about how do you feel if a cop kills somebody, it bother him. It's gonna bother him the rest of his life. Because
I mean, I ain't the police, so I
but
can't
hold
say
it.
that's
Let
why.
me finish. You talking about the Bible, thou should not kill. And that's gonna follow that man the rest of his life. Day, walking or whatever. Because it was wrong. But if you kill to defend yourself, defend your life, you can get by a little bit, but it's no such thing as self-defense between me and Dwayne if we're getting in a fight. Once he rendered that weapon for me, I taught you this. Once he rendered that weapon for me, and we're free. It's all over. The fight should end. Anything after that, then you should charge that person. Y'all go ahead.
What would something be on any of your hearts to say? What would be on any of your hearts to say to a room full of police officers as young black men and young black women? What would you're in a room full of police officers and they give you a mic. What would you say
I ain't gonna
that's
lie.
on your heart to say to the room full of police officers?
I ain't gonna lie. I tell them to stop the violence.
With that.
That goes for anybody. You
Not
got the
gonna lie.
mic. You got a room full of police
it's-
officers.
It's emotional to wake up every day and see my black folk get killed by the white man cop.
For me, I probably just has asked him if they ever had recorded themselves in the concept of a situation where they knew they were in the wrong, and actually looked at themselves and actually said to themselves that I did the right thing. Because if you have a camera, most of them do have a camera on their shoulder or in the middle of their chest on their vest that they wear. and it also has a vocal recording. So I want to know if they actually record themselves into something. And they actually look back at that recording and wonder, did I make a mistake here? Was I the one who was making a false accusation against this person? And was I in the right to end it the way it did?
I'm glad you said that. They have body cams now where you can actually see what they're doing. Like the person that's back at the police station can actually record them and see what they're doing. So I'm glad you said that. That just came to my mind.
A lot of them turn them.
A lot of them smart. They know how to turn their cameras off. But if I'm a police, I ain't turning my camera off for nobody. I'm sorry.
What if you're scared?
Go ahead.
What if you're scared because you made a mistake and you don't want nobody to know about it?
Then that's a different story.
Anyway, something I would say to a police officer if they're saying, like, right here, I would like, violence is not always the key, but if it involves you losing your life, then you gotta do what you gotta do. Like, it involves you killing someone, then you have to do it to save yourself.
I feel like it depends on the kind of police officers I'm talking to. If I'm talking to a room full of racist police officers, I would tell them, quit your job. You don't get paid enough to kill people.
Hey
And
man.
then if I was a room full of like actual good
Wait a
police
minute.
officers,
So that means I don't.
if
So that means I don't get paid to talk to young people.
I was in a room full of actually good police officers, I would tell them when they see their other fellow police officers doing wrong, make it right.
You said that.
Not gonna lie, I'm gonna keep it a bean. I don't get paid. And I ain't gonna hold you. That was funny. Hey, listen, you gotta make the podcast funny, man. You can't have these folks over here eating a bowl of popcorn and just sit here and look at us all day. I was
Wrap
definitely
it
laughing.
up.
I'm Kevin Hart over here. I tell what?
You won't want to be Kevin Hart.
Who did that?
Excuse Zane French, but we gotta get up out of here at 6:44. Next week we'll be talking about this crazy kid over here, video games, and shout out to Kaisha, shout out to Chamani. I keep forgetting her name. Shout out to Mr. Brooks, our bus driver. Shout out and a big shout out, Mr. Bradford himself. Please, we need you. We need more people like you in this world. Not gonna lie, we need more people that's collect and genuinely about themselves. We need more people that's going. And I would like to give another big shout out to the owner, to the one that started this whole YP class, Miss Pilgrim herself. I love you, Miss Pilgrim. And I've been here for 2 years. 2 years. And I'm still here with Miss Pilgrim. I'm not never going.
You're gonna graduate.
I'm never
celebrate.
leaving Miss Pilgrim.
And I love you too.
Mr.
But you're
Brooks,
gonna go on to great things.
another shout out goes to you. Even though you get on my nerves sometimes, I still love you. Anyway,
You learn.
Anyway, guys, I hope y'all enjoyed the show. Next week we got video games. I'm excited about video games because I play video games all the time, so I got some stuff to say. Zane, you better be ready, my boy.
All right.
Yes, sir. YP,
The other hand.
let's get out of here. Woo!